All right, we've got 3 points, 1, 0, 5, 0, and 0, -5. So that would be our x-intercepts and y-intercept. And we're supposed to come up with the equation of the parabola. And so you don't have to approach it the way that I'm going to say, because it doesn't say which form it has to be in. So it doesn't say whether it wants it in standard form, vertex form, factored form. All of those would technically be acceptable. But if you think about this as a picture, 1, 0 is an x-intercept, 5, 0 is an x-intercept, and 0, -5 is a y-intercept. So the way these are spaced out, we know that parabolas can be split in half. They have a line of symmetry, and so the way these are split up, I can tell that the axis of symmetry, or this line of symmetry, is at x equals 3, and that gives me kind of a visual of what the parabola is supposed to look like. Now, because these are x-intercepts, those are values that would make my quadratic equal 0, and so sometimes we call those zeros. And a quadratic is degree 2, so it can have, it will have 2 zeros. And to change those zeros to factors, we just do x minus each one. And so this guarantees that if I put an x minus 1 and an x minus 5 into my equation, it will definitely equal 0 at 1 and equal 0 at 5, which is what is supposed to happen. Now, this could very well be my answer, but it's very likely that this quadratic has been stretched. So it's opening up quicker or slower than the parent function x squared does. And the fact that this opens down means that I know this has to at least be negative. So how we can use this information, okay, to figure out how much of a stretch or shrink is it having. So I'm going to call that A from here on out. I'm just going to temporarily plug that in. When y is -5, x is 0, x is 0, and you can see that gives me an equation that needs to be solved for A. Looks like A is -1. So then I can just plug that back in up here. So like I said, I knew it had to be negative because it's opening down, but it might have been a -1, a -10, a -2/3. I don't want to guess and check my way to that. So just plug in an A, plug in this point temporarily for x and y, and then you can solve for A. So you can put that back in place of here.